This is the first of what I expect to be several videos of the Strasburg Railroad. Here at the end of the line in Paradise, locomotive number 89 is passing us as it moves from one end of our train to the other to pull us back to Strasburg. Number 89 was built in Canada in 1910. It's a 260 Mogul that arrived in Strasburg that year and is still in service. We got off the train at Groff's Grove for a picnic. While our train was at the stop, another train pulled by locomotive number 90 was coming in the other direction and passed us on the passing siding. It's the only time I've ever been able to photograph two trains with steam locomotives passing each other. Number 90 is a 210O decapod built by Baldwin in 1924 and is also still in service. These video clips are transfers from 8mm film taken on 3 different trips in 1972. When the trains had gone, I crossed the tracks and waited for number 90 to come back on its return trip. The Strasburg Railroad and nearby Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania might be the best such destination in the world, and they're not far from where I live, so I get there reasonably often. This is another trip during that same year. For a time, I was a big brother in the Big Brothers of America, and my wife and I brought my little brother and our nephew to Strasburg. This time our train was pulled by number 31, an 060 built by Baldwin in 1908. It came to Strasburg in 1960 and was the first steam locomotive acquired after Strasburg became a heritage railroad. It's still there, but currently out of service. On this trip, I came to Strasburg with a group of scouts. You'll see a glimpse of the Red Caboose Motel, which opened in 1970. It's grown a lot since then and has 38 cabooses now. This time number 90, which you saw passing our train in the earlier clip, was pulling our train. If you're familiar with Strasburg now, you'll be surprised to see all this equipment near the station. In 1972, the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania hadn't been built yet, but plans had been made to build it in Strasburg. A collection of equipment that had been displayed at the 1939 World's Fair by the Pennsylvania Railroad and then placed in storage was moved to Strasburg in the 1960s in anticipation of the new museum. They had equipment everywhere. Now it's 1978, and the museum, which opened in 1975, is 3 years old. A lot of equipment was still out on the yard, and some of it still is, but some had been beautifully preserved and moved safely under cover.